Good, my boy. What's that, huh?
What's up, Channing? Good morning.
Straight, bro.
Good to see you, brother.
Ain't no shit.
All is good?
Yeah.
This boy got on the turtleneck today.
Fred, you see, Fred, you see him to care more about my turtleneck than Chan. Well, I'm saying, Charlie.
No, I love it, RC.
Hold up, limitless. Niggas to me, got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up. On the mission, get me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On the vision, I can trust. Limitless. Niggas to me, got pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up. On the mission, get me up.
Hey, man, shoot. Welcome to the Pivot. Xavier McKinney, starting safety, New York Giants, Alabama Crimson Tide. I won't hold that against you. I got enough friends from the school now, man. I just start to like y'all.
Hey, man, you should, bro.
I figured
Good that you do.
And we're going to lose to somebody. Might as well lose to them. You know what I mean? Freddie T, Channing, I'm RC. To our partners, Happy Dad, we appreciate you. Also to DraftKings, thank you for your sponsorship. All the people that supported us, obviously, we just dropped our one-year show on Tuesday. Thank you, guys. We want to just keep doing the same thing for you with 2023. We're going to have bigger, better shows. We're going to still stay the same. Let's take it back, though. You know, he spoke about Roswell, you know, growing up in Marietta, dressing as yourself, a football player for Halloweens. Did you always have dreams of being in this position now?
Yeah, I did. I think ever since, I was 5, that's when I started playing. I always wanted to get to this level. So it's always been, it was always a dream of mine. It was a lot, I would say it was a lot different though when I actually got here because I didn't realize the business part of it, you know what I'm saying? So, but obviously as a kid, you don't really think about none of that. You just think about the football aspect of it. But, it was always, like I said, it was always a dream of mine ever since, I was real little, ever since I could really play football, so.
I was telling you a little bit before, I went to Roswell High School as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy when I looked and saw it like, damn, this dude's a Hornet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I ended up transferring because they varsity blues me.
Yeah.
Like on the movie with the 40 carries, 250 yards, 1 touchdown. The white boy had 30 yards, 4 touchdowns. Every time we got in the red zone, they give it to the white boy. Yeah. After that game, my mom said, you leaving. So I was like, okay, so I ended up going to North Springs. But then you go to Roswell, you ball, and it's an athletic powerhouse. Now it's a big, beautiful school.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still varsity blues them up, but.
So it's crazy because it was like, so my class, we really changed like the culture of the school, which it didn't go well for, a lot of, the people like the AD and a lot of people that was there. My class, when we left, it was kind of like an end of an era for real. Everybody pretty much either, quit their jobs or left the school, but it was a lot of black kids, in my class, and we made what we had football, the athletics-wise, we made that, and we kind of put the school on the map as far as we just had a lot of highly recruited guys, kind of like what you saying, it wasn't, because it's a white area. They ain't really like it too much. But we did what we had to do, and we ain't really have none of that at the time when we was there, because there was too many of us. They couldn't do that, and we was winning, and we was getting that recognition, as far as the recruitment stuff goes. So it was a little different when I was there.
They did you that because you was light skinned.
And all the girls, they looking at me. All the white boys hide because they looking at the where the little red boy at? But you from around there? Because they have something in Atlanta called the M2M program, minority to majority. So that story you're telling happens a lot where they start busting these black dudes, these black ball players out of the hood into these suburban areas, and athletically the team comes up, but the dynamic of the school starts changing because it's different cultures there. And that's what seems
exactly,
like was happening with you.
That was exactly what happened, man. After a while, they started to get kind of irritated with it. So they, with certain people, they was following them, trying to make sure that they lived in the school district, trying to see where they were actually living at, and, trying to get them removed and kicked out from the school, whatever. But we had a little bit of that. So, yeah, it was different, though.
You're talking about the recruiting process as well. You're a 4-star.
Yeah.
You've played on tremendous programs. High school, Alabama. Oh. I know the Georgia fans probably like, how'd he get out of Georgia? But that's probably a different story. played at a great school in Alabama, and now you're on the highest level playing for the New York Giants. Does that star rating even matter? And were you upset that you were only a 4-star? Well, not that you were only a 4-star, but that you were a 4-star, not a 5-star?
At the time, I was, but you know what I'm saying, that was, like, I always think of that like I was younger, you know what I'm saying, and you know, at that time, I just wanted that recognition, and that recognition was getting the stars, you know what I'm saying, getting that pub out. And I ain't have a whole bunch of offers. I had like 13 offers, but they were all the top schools. I didn't go to a lot of camps. I went to like 2 camps. My first camp was a Clemson camp, and my second one was a Bama camp. I cared a lot more about it when I was younger, but now that I'm here, like, none of that mean anything. You know what I'm saying? You see, they always bring it up, like you see the top guys now that had no stars in high school. But so none of that, the star stuff, that don't mean nothing. Obviously you care about it when, you know what I'm saying, when you're in high school and all that stuff. But once you get past that level, all that stuff kind of erases, and you just gotta ball. Cause I've seen 5 stars be terrible. I've seen the no stars be, you know what I'm saying, superstars. So. Right. Like I said, it all depends on how you work. It all depends on how you play, and that's what matters at the end of it.
You know, he mentioned Alabama, being there, being around the greatest coach in college football, Nick Saban. He coached me at LSU my last 2 years. Also having an opportunity to meet Kobe Bryant. And if you've ever watched this show, I never miss an opportunity to talk about Kobe or to ask people their experiences with him. For you to be coached by someone like Saban. I even read somewhere that you said you wanted to emulate that greatness. You wanted to make sure that you didn't let him down, that you didn't upset him. And then also having an opportunity to ask Kobe Bryant questions about the way that he prepared. How has being around greats such as Nick Saban, Kobe Bryant inspired you to work the way that you do?
Man, it's inspired me on every level of just, I know especially with Coach Saban, you know what I'm saying? He always wanted to be perfect, you know, and you knew that he was about his business no matter what. And, you know what I'm saying, as I got older, you know, I started to realize, I think it was really after my freshman year, you know what I'm saying, I really, you know, understood what he wanted to do. I understood how he, you know what I'm saying, how he worked and how he wanted to perfect his craft. So for me, you know what I'm saying, I saw the same thing, and I liked that. And I was always like a hard-working dude, and I always wanted to be, you know what I'm saying, try to be perfect and try to strive to get there. So for me, you know, so I saw that, you know, I saw that with Kobe. I saw that with Saban. And I wanted to be able to do the same thing because I wanted to get to the level that they were at. So that's always, you know what I'm saying, something that's pushed me. You know, I always say that, you know, I'm a self-motivated person. So I want to be as great as I can be. I want to be the best. And I know in order to do that, you know, I gotta try to be better than, you know what I'm saying, everybody else that's in the room. And to do that to my standard, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to reach that perfect level. So that's just how I see it. And, you know what I'm saying, that's always kind of motivated me since I've been playing.
I also played for Saban. He drafted me. Yeah. When he went to Miami, he drafted me to the Dolphins. Did you have to adjust to getting cussed the hell out?
Yeah, I did, for sure.
Like, how long did it take you to deal with how Saban coaches?
So my freshman year, like, I got cussed out every day, and it was the same play. I kid you not, I messed up on the same play every time. So he'd just be on my ass. He'd cuss me out the same thing every day. And I think it was one game, I think we played Ole Miss, and I got in like real late, missed the tackle, you know what I'm saying, came over to the sideline, and he cussed me out. He's saying this, he's saying that, and I felt like shit. Like, I felt like the worst damn football. I thought I wasn't gonna make it. Right. I ain't gonna lie, like, cause what he said, it was just like, damn, like, am I terrible? But then I kind of, you know what I'm saying, I had to take a step back, and I had to realize, all right, like, I know what I need to do to improve. And, you know what I'm saying, I felt that in every practice that he cussed me out. I understood that he was cussing me out because he cared, because he knew that I had something in me, you know what I'm saying, that he was trying to push out of me. So once I realized that, I kind of got used to it. I started to work a lot harder. I started to study a lot more. I was more locked in, and I knew what I had to do, because I knew that, you know what I'm saying, when I could gain his trust and when I could earn that, I knew, you know what I'm saying, I'd be A-okay.
And it's funny, because now you at this level, you've been in the league for a while, team captain and all.
Yeah.
Think about Saban as an NFL head coach with the OGs already on the team, coming in with the dudes already got $100 million. He was getting his ass cussed out in Miami.
I'm already knowing.
Because he's 38 years old, them 37-year-old D tackles. Yeah. What are you doing here? Who are you talking to? Yeah. Like, so that was a thing, the transition part of it, though. I had to get used to it. I was getting cussed out, Ron's looking all, but that Saban cussing is different. But didn't he make you a better football player? Because that's the part I try to tell everybody about.
A lot better. He, like I said, he just made me just think about the game a lot differently. And he pushed it out. Like I said, anybody that knows me, like, I work hard, like, and that just is what it is. But he brought something out of me, like a different type of focus, just how I prepared and got ready. He brought that out of me. You know what I'm saying? He definitely, he changed, you know what I'm saying, how I thought about a lot of different things, how I played, and like I said, how I prepared. So, and he, you know, he said he tends to do that with, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people that are coached under him. So a lot of people would say the same thing.
Speaking of standards, you talk about Saban, you talk about Bama. Your freshman year, your current head coach, Coach Daboll, was the offensive coordinator at Bama. Did you guys have a relationship then? And how's your relationship now?
We didn't really have like that close of a relationship. I think in college, I dealt with more just, you know what I'm saying, my side of the ball.
Right.
Obviously, we saw the offensive coaches and stuff like that, but there wasn't as much of a relationship, you know what I'm saying, as it is now in the league. Because in the league, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, for me at least, I got a relationship with all my coaches, no matter what side of the ball it is. But college, it was a lot different, especially being at Bama. At that time, I wasn't even worried about, you know what I'm saying, the offensive coaches. I wasn't even trying to build no relationship with them. I was trying to do it with my DC and my position coach, and then obviously Saban. So we didn't really have that close relationship, but when we first came in the building, it was like, obviously we've been on the same team with each other, but you know what I'm saying, it's like our relationship, like we've been knowing each other for 5 years.
The small relationship in college, the walk-bys or whatever, the relationship you have now, did it make it easier for you to pick up the phone after your accident and then kind of get into that? I know I would be scared as hell to call my head coach after I'm on a bye week, I have an accident, you know, and then the contract stuff, the language that's in there that says non-related football injuries, all that different stuff. So run that back, let us know how, you know, what that experience was like.
Obviously, when the situation first happened, I wasn't even thinking about none of that. I was just happy that it wasn't anything worse. And I think it was something that was, obviously, it was something that was traumatizing for me because I never had been in no situation like that. It was only my second time out the country. So for that to have happened, it was kind of, you know what I'm saying, it was crazy. But it did make it a lot easier to call Dave's and, you know what I'm saying, let him know the situation. Because I knew that, you know, obviously we had built that relationship with each other. And, you know what I'm saying, we was both transparent with each other. You know what I'm saying, whatever he wanted to tell me, he could tell me. Whatever I wanted to tell him, I could tell him without it, you know what I'm saying, being any type of problems. So it did make it a lot easier to, you know what I'm saying, to call him, call Mr. Mayor, to call, you know what I'm saying, Wink. Just all my coaches really. We all had a pretty good relationship with each other. So it was easy to call and kind of tell them situation. It didn't make it, it was still hard to kind of explain it to them, obviously. But as far as just picking up the phone and letting them know and telling them, you know what I'm saying, the truth of what happened, that part of it was easy. As far as the, you know what I'm saying, that incident goes, it sucked because of the timing of it. Also because of how well things were going for me as far as just becoming a leader, becoming that, you know what I'm saying, being named that captain. You know what I'm saying, I had to think about, you know what I'm saying, all these things. And, you know what I'm saying, when the situation first went down, I'm like, damn, like, how I'm gonna explain this to my teammates, how I'm gonna explain this to my coaches. So that part of it was difficult for me. But I did realize that, you know, they were still gonna need me. I was still a captain. I was still a leader. So I couldn't really sit and dwell on being down or feeling bad about it. Like, at that point, like afterwards, it was like, it is what it is. I gotta figure out ways where I could learn from this and I could, you know what I'm saying, become a better leader, become a better captain. And I really went from there. It wasn't the easiest thing, you know what I'm saying? I had my days where I was like in the shithole, like it was just bad, but you know what I'm saying? I also have my days where I'm like, yeah, like we gotta go. Like I ain't got time to sit here and feel bad. Like the season's still gonna go on. We still gotta win games. We still got, you know what I'm saying, a expectation level that, you know what I'm saying, we need to, a standard that we need to play to. We still, you know what I'm saying, trying to get, reach the ultimate goal, which is, you know what I'm saying, the championship. So I understood all of that. And once I, you know what I'm saying, set all the feelings and shit aside, it was easy for me to pick up and just, you know what I'm saying, keep going, rehab my hand and do all the other stuff they needed me to do.
I need to know the story. When the ATV happened, and then the world knew what happened when it came out, my first thought, he was trying to show out for a woman. That was my first thought. I need the story. Everybody, cause you did it this game. Freddie, you did the situation.
Yeah.
The thing that happened. my incidents.
Yeah.
I need to know the story of how you shattered your damn ham in the mashed potatoes.
And you're gonna look out for all the young boys who watching this.
Yeah, no,
because
for
people
sure.
go out of the country and do wild shit, man.
Yeah.
We don't need like to read about
need
no
to
tragic incident.
Yeah.
It could have been you.
Yeah, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Thank God it's not. So
Yeah.
kind of lead us through this thing.
Laying next to the street like
Man.
Duval was.
Right. You got that Carl Weathers hand like on Happy Gilmore.
So it's crazy. So yeah, I was with a girl, but you know what I'm saying, everything was going perfectly fine. That morning, I actually got up and I worked out at the resort. Like, so usually in my bye week, I don't do nothing. Like I'm chilling, like I don't do anything. So I called my my strength coach, Fitz, and I'm like, hey, you could send me over the workout. Like I'm about to do a workout right quick. So I do a workout at the resort, you know what I'm saying, do that, feeling good, come back up, take a shower. We had already planned, like, we're gonna go out and do stuff, whatever. So I'm looking in the little pamphlet that they give and see different things. And at first I wanted to do a helicopter ride. So then I called, that's what I'm saying, thankfully it wasn't nothing else crazy. So we called the, you know what I'm saying, the helicopter people, and they're like, nah, we don't do this service anymore. So I'm like, damn, like, I don't really know what else really I want to do, whatever. And then we thought about the camel ride. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So then we look at the ATVs, and then they have like the regular ones, and then they got the ones that are like, they call like the supercharged, like the fast ones. But I'm like, nah, I don't want to get on those, 'cause I ain't trying to have no crazy shit happen. So I'm like, nah, forget that. We just gonna get on the regular ones. So we drive to the place, and it's a sightseeing, you know what I'm saying, it's a sightseeing tour. So we got a guide in front of us, and he's on the actual ATV. We in like the Can-Am, like the bigger kind of like the car one. And really, like, nothing really happened, bro. Shit was just crazy. Like, we had stopped, we got out by the beach, took some pictures, and then we got back in the Can-Am, and we probably like 10 seconds later, I'm driving up. It's like a hill, and then there's a right turn. Driving up, make the turn, and the shit just tips, you know what I'm saying? It tips over, but like it tipped over, like shit happened so fast, but it was like really so slow. That shit was crazy. And so like as it was falling down, I didn't really even need to put my hand down, but it was a reaction.
Yeah.
So it's falling down, I try to put my hand down, and the top of the bar just like smashes my hand. And I didn't even realize, you know what I'm saying, because it happened like so fast. So when I put my hand down, smashed it, and you know what I'm saying, I'm looking at my hand, and I realize, I'm like, what the hell? So I'm starting to, like, now I'm kind of freaking out, because now we sideways, and I'm stuck in the, like, I'm trying to get out, and I can't get out of the, you know what I'm saying, get out of the seatbelt, and she can't get out either. So we just sitting there, the people behind us, they trying to push it up. So now I start looking at my legs, just trying to make sure everything else is straight. And luckily, everything else was good. Sat there, you know what I'm saying, for a little minute, because they had to come and pick us up. And then that's when, you know what I'm saying, I went to the hospital. But it was nothing crazy. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, I was
You weren't doing donuts.
I wasn't doing no donut. It was like some freak, like the freakest accident I've ever, you know what I'm saying, been a part of. But like I said, it was just all bad timing, bro. That's it.
Thankful it's your left hand and not your right.
Not the right.
Because look, I injured my right hand. I had a cast on it for a few weeks. And trying to wipe your ass with your offhand,
Man.
That's a whole different story.
I ain't even realized how much I needed my left hand to. I couldn't use it. I'm like, damn, like I really need my left. So I couldn't imagine if it was my right.
You know, that type of adversity that we go through with injury is something that all players understand. And it's something that you've done before in resetting, recognizing the position that you're in and moving forward. I am going to take you back a little bit, though, to draft night. Xavier McKinney has an excellent college career, doesn't do as well as he wants to in the combine, cramps up, runs 4.6, but was expected to be a first-round pick, was the best safety in the draft coming out of college, and you don't go in the first round. And you go back that night and watch film of yourself, basically critiquing yourself to try to say, okay, if there are reasons I didn't go in the first round, here are the reasons. I want to know them for myself. How do I correct those things and get better? How does an experience like that both hurt you, but also allow you to grow?
I think just the timing of that was crazy. Obviously, being at the combine and having that shit happen, like, so I don't even really talk about the story. So before I even ran that 40, well, really before the draft, I was thinking of, it was me and Delpit were the top safeties. And for me, I saw it as a from a competitive standpoint, like, all right, it's me versus you. We about to see who's about to be better. But then I ended up finding out he wasn't doing anything. So I'm like, damn, like, I thought, you know what I'm saying, we was going to compete. Let's see who, you know what I'm saying, the best as far as drill work and running and shit. He ain't do it, but I felt like, I'm like, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, not be able to go out there and, you know what I'm saying, show my skill set and do all the extra shit. But before I ran the 40 and I was practicing the 40, I actually caught cramps before, like, so, you know, you do the like 10 yard, you just do the little warm up. I caught cramps, and it was really because, so the COVID year, it was weird, man, because we had to sit, we were like sitting a whole bunch, like just the time, we were just sitting. So we got up one time, we warmed up, and then they told us to sit back down. So I had already warmed up, everybody's already warmed up, but then we had to sit back down for like another 30, 40 minutes. So I'm like, damn. So then once I get down there to warm up, I run like a 20 yard and I felt myself cramp. And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, damn, maybe I shouldn't run this shit. So then I called my agent and I'm like, bruh, like I'm cramping, like, you know what I'm saying? He like, how you feel? I'm like, I'm gonna still run it. So knowing me, which it was really bad because I really should have just hung it up and be like, I'm done. So I try to take some electrolytes, and you know, if y'all ever caught cramp, like that shit don't work instantly. Like that shit take a minute to work. So I take the electrolytes thinking, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be straight. I start stretching, and then as soon as I got to the line, I'm looking down the line, and you know that damn 40 yards seemed like 100 at the combine. So I'm like, fuck. So now I'm already cramping. So then I get in my stance, and like I feel everything just tighten up, and I'm like, I don't know how this is about to go. So as soon as I like get off that line, like every little, you know what I'm saying, every step I take, I just feel it, every step. And then once I got to the end, I damn near, like I'm cramping at, like fully on cramping. So then after that, I hung it up. But once I didn't get drafted that first round, it lit a fire in me because, you know, I felt like, you know, I was a first round talent. I felt like I should have, you know what I'm saying, got chosen in the first round. I didn't. And so, you know, after that, it was kind of a hard couple of days because I had everybody, like my whole family was there. Once I didn't, I told everybody to go home. And the next day, I wasn't going to have nobody come back because at this point, I'm embarrassed. I'm pissed that I didn't go first round. But then I had to talk with, you know what I'm saying, my mom, and she just kind of telling me like, you know what I'm saying, it's going to come, you know what I'm saying, you're going to get drafted the second day. So I just told everybody to come back. I got drafted. But then, you know what I'm saying, before that same night, I went back and watched all my film. And then that next morning, I watched my film. I wrote down like all the, you know what I'm saying, the bad things that I didn't do well. I wrote down all the good things. I just watched film of myself, kind of critiqued myself real hard. And I just went from there, man. I just kept that in my mind. And, you know what I'm saying, I worked on all the shit that I feel like I need to work on. And I also sharpened the things that I thought I was good at. And, you know what I'm saying, it just got me to this point, so. Yeah,
you mentioned Wink earlier, Wink Martindale, who was the new defensive coordinator, came over from the Baltimore Ravens. And in the offseason, you know, there were talks about, I did an entire interview about you being the green dot and being the captain, and the way that they were kind of empowering you to be the guy on this team. And you're coming into this season and, like, let's be frank, Joe Judge sucks.
Yeah.
Right? Your team sucked. He's terrible. Damn Timmy Tough Nuts gets in front of the media every day and is saying these certain things, but he's not coaching in that way to get a team to do that. You start the season in Tennessee. Tennessee was the #1 overall seed in the AFC last year. Go toe-to-toe, end up winning with a 2-point conversion by Saquon and a stop by y'all defensively. Coming into the season, were you expecting your team to play the way y'all did early on in the season?
Yeah.
Really?
And I say that because when we started in OTAs, like all the years before, nobody, like, we didn't start off all on the same page. I think everybody was kind of going in different directions. And I think a big reason to that was because of the coaching staff that we had there, which was, you know what I'm saying, Joe Judge and his crew. And so they just made it to where nobody wanted to come like, if you didn't have to be there, nobody wanted to be there because we knew what they was gonna have us doing. That was the good part when Dave's and, you know what I'm saying, all the crew that's there now, when they came in, because we talked to them and they actually listened. Like when we told them just about what we did previous years and what we wanted to do differently, they actually listened. And he told us, he like, look, I'm gonna take care of y'all, but, you know what I'm saying, on the other end of it, we're gonna work. And we understood that, and I think we all went into it like, we're trying to change the culture now. Like, we don't wanna have a lot of guys, for me, it had only been 2 years, but a lot of guys, it was you know what I'm saying, it was 3 years,
right,
going on that 4th year. So I think collectively as a group, we just wanted to change the narrative, we wanted to change the culture. And once we all came in for OTAs, and everybody was coming together as one, we started building that relationship with each other. I knew that from the beginning of the season that it was the start of something special because everybody was going the same direction. Like before, it was just like everybody's pulling different directions. Coaches that we had before, a lot of people, they didn't like each other, but then they actually showed it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get coaches that don't like each other, but they know what the main goal is. But coaches we had, it was like everybody's pulling different directions. So we was just going through a lot of stuff, but I realized with this group that we had this year, everybody was solid, everybody was, you know what I'm saying, pushing the same way. And it works a lot better when, you know what I'm saying, everybody's going in one direction.
And we all saw what Daboll did in Buffalo, why he got the job in New York. Yeah. And then you just see everybody, like you say, everybody getting better. When you're watching Daniel Jones, a young quarterback, then you're watching Saquon coming off the injury, and you're just like, you know, what's he gonna come back and be? Mm-hmm. And then you see both of them get better, I would say. Mm-hmm. Like, did y'all see that early on? And are you like, was Daboll a part of that? Was it injury? Was it age? Like those dudes took off this year. I lost hope in Daniel Jones, to be honest. And then I started watching this year. I was like,
Oh, you actually had it?
I saw great athleticism early on, but this year I saw an athlete. But this year I started to see a quarterback.
Yeah. I think even from the jump, like you could see the growth with DJ. You could see it with Say, and they was doing so much, like offensively, like, so the shit that y'all really saw, like offensively this year, they ain't do none of that in OTA. Like the offense was completely different. They was doing shit like, a lot of times OTAs in camp, Saquon was out at receiver. You know what I'm saying? He running routes and doing, like they all type of crazy formations. But we saw it from the jump. We saw, you know, the improvement as soon as we started really going against each other. We could see that they both got better. And we knew Say was gonna be who he was gonna be. We already knew that, but it really showed. Like we like, all right, yeah, he really back. When we started camping, he trucking people. Y'all probably seen video before. That was when I knew, like, all right, like he's serious. Cause at that point we wasn't even supposed to be doing shit like that. But he was, you know what I'm saying. We saw his step was fast. We saw that he was hungry. And, you know what I'm saying, once we saw that, we was like, shit, we're going to be good offensively. But we saw it from, you know what I'm saying, once we started, you know what I'm saying, competing against each other, we knew that they was ready to go.
And like Saquon, you know, he been on the show with us, and just you see his body, you see them big ass thighs. I had to compliment him on his thighs. I played with Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown, and before practice, walking out, I'd always just go give him dap.
Yeah.
Hey brother, you good, man? We gonna grab dinner tonight?
Yeah.
Because if your big ass break through this hole, I do not want to hit you.
Yeah.
Just the thing, like you got to tell Saquon to come. Man, coming off injury, I know that man was wild.
It's crazy because my rookie year, I met him. I think it was my rookie year. I met him in the hole one time, and my damn chin strap went all the way to my damn eyes, bro. Like, that shit was crazy. Like, and we still talk about it to this day. Like, that was the wildest shit ever. But for me and him, like, we just always try to compete with each other. When we used to do one-on-ones, he would go a receiver, and sometimes we had made a bet, actually for camp. It was either he was gonna get more touchdowns or I was gonna get more picks. So we had made a bet, just like a friendly bet during camp, and we would just always compete with each other, whether that was one-on-ones, whether that was open field tackling, whatever it was, because for me, I understood that, you know what I'm saying, he wanted the best backs in the league, if not the best back in the league. So I knew that it was gonna make me better. So I always wanted to, however I could, I always wanted to compete, you know what I'm saying, with you know what I'm saying, the best guy. And obviously, I knew that I was probably gonna, like, for instance, when we played Carolina and I had to guard McCaffrey. So I knew that I was gonna have these type of matchups in the season anyway. So I knew that he was gonna get me prepared, you know, for seeing, you know what I'm saying, the McCaffreys, you know what I'm saying, the Mark Andrews, all these guys that were the top guys. I knew that he was gonna get me prepared for that. So it was fun to compete with him. Obviously, he's a competitive dude. So we just had fun with it, you know what I'm saying, during camp and stuff like that.
You talked about OTAs, the expectation, and starting to build from there. Talked about two of your team stars, in Saquon and Daniel Jones. Mm-hmm. Aside from how you guys ended this year and surprising everybody, because I didn't think the Giants were going to make the playoffs and do as well as you guys did, but you did great. Mm-hmm. Were there, in terms of players, who was that one guy that was the biggest surprise and helped contribute to the team's success?
I would say Isaiah, the receiver.
Isaiah Hodgins.
Yeah, Hodgins. Yeah.
Y'all picked him up late, though. That was November.
Yeah, so when he came, I was like, damn, I would say him and Richie.
So that's two receivers, Richie James and Isaiah.
Yeah, Isaiah, yeah. So I would say those two are the biggest, reasons of how well we played offensively. I thought they had a great year. I thought they were reliable the whole year. You could depend on them. And they were always guys that were going to make the catches. And they had really good seasons. So I would say, you know what I'm saying, those two were the biggest, reasons to why we did what we did offensively.
Fellas, it's Championship Sunday. Ain't but 4 teams left in this thing, and only 2 of them get to go to the big dance. But you know who else wants to go to the big dance? DraftKings. Any new customer that signs up with the promo code PIVOT, you bet at least $5 on either one of these games, and you get another $200 in additional bets. They trying to help you win. May not help the teams, but it's going to help you.
Go ahead and put that on a same-game parlay. You said it. It's
Bro, you love a same-game parlay.
Only got 2 games now. You know I love these boys in Cincy now. So who wins? How much they win by? Over-unders. Multiple bets on the same game, and you have a chance of winning even more money.
Correct, but the sports book is not everywhere. So some people won't feel left out. But if you're not in one of those cities or states, don't worry. We got DraftKings Daily Fantasy where you can still pick your favorite players to go ball out and do their thing, and you can still get money.
Well, DraftKings Sportsbook, right now, you grab your phone, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, sign up using the promo code PIVOT. You bet on either of these championship games, any but $5, and you get $200 in additional bets. Let's get back to the show. You make sure y'all get to the games. But I kind of want to talk about the Minnesota game. This was a game early on in the season. It was tight. They end up edging you guys out late.
Yeah.
I would think it's because, one, you blitzed on 3rd down, gave Kirk, who can't read defenses, an opportunity to see what you was playing on Justin Jefferson. Mm-hmm. He gets a 3rd down catch. Then you have the screen, puts them in position to kick a 61-yard field goal. But going into the game in the playoffs, a lot of people did think you guys had a chance. And it was going to be about Say, it was going to be about Daniel Jones, but also what y'all could do defensively to stop Justin Jefferson. He gets off. He's kind of going off early, has 5 catches early, but there are no big plays. Or Dory's back. You're back, right? So now it's a different crew. Take us through a little bit of your feeling going into that game and what it was like in your young career to finally be in a big game, be in the playoffs, and have your team come through the way y'all did.
All the talk was about Justin Jefferson.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? I played him before in college in big games, so I understood his game. I knew how good he was. But for me, I'm like, bro, I don't want to keep hearing about him, you know what I'm saying, the whole week. Like, I ain't trying to hear that. So I had told the media, I'm like, we had, you know what I'm saying, a week before, we had seen him, you know what I'm saying, against Jair, and he ain't really he was really shut down. So for me, how I saw it was, you know what I'm saying, if he could do it, we could do it too. Because I knew who we had on defense. I knew our defense was really good and a top-tier defense. That's the mindset I went into it with. And he put on his pants, that's how I put on my pants. And, you know what I'm saying, if we're able to limit him, obviously we know he's going to make big plays because he's a great player. So we didn't get, you know what I'm saying, sidetracked by that. We knew that we weren't going to stop him to 0 yards. We knew that wasn't going to happen. But we did know we had to limit him. And really them first 5 plays of the game was really I was really bullshitting. But once I had to settle in, because it was my first playoff game. So I was real I was eager. I was anxious to kind of make a play. But once I, you know what I'm saying, settled down, you know what I'm saying, got into the game, everything was fine, everything went smoothly. Just going into that game, man, it was a great feeling just because it was my first time being in a playoff game, first time being in a real meaningful game.
Right.
And I knew what was at stake. And that was like that for a lot of us. So I think even, you know what I'm saying, once we settled down into that game, I think we were fine and we kind of understood all right, this is what it's gonna take.
How good did it feel to win it though, bro?
Shit felt good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It felt good because it felt like back to the college days,
right.
when I was winning them, you know what I'm saying, the Natties, the SEC championship, those games, it went back to those games and the atmosphere was crazy, and it was a different feeling for sure.
And you had that good feeling. You had the sweet honey. And then next week, Philly came up.
Yeah. Facts. You're right.
With all good comes some bad there, man. Y'all had that excitement. Y'all a young team. Y'all are ascending. And then y'all line up against the Super Bowl favorite right now.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
What happened? What was that game? I know it was excitement. And division, y'all done played them twice already. Y'all know how good they were. Mm-hmm. Then the game starts.
I just felt me personally, I just didn't think that our energy level was where it needed to be. And that was just from jump. I feel like it could have been a lot better. But I thought we prepared well the whole week. At the end of the day, they was just a better team than us. And you know what I'm saying, it showed that night. And so it was it was tough though, I ain't gonna lie, because they got out fast. And it was once they got out fast, we're damn, shit, it's already 21-0. You
about to put the sticks up.
Yeah, shit, we trying to figure it out, damn. So I'm thinking, after halftime, all right, we're gonna come out and we're gonna make some noise. Man, that shit really didn't. It shit really was the same way the whole game. And then I ended up getting the sack fumble. We didn't get that back, and I'm like, it just ain't going our way. So
right.
It was frustrating, but I also think it was a humbling experience. I think we understood, all right, we know what it's gonna take to get past this level. We know we got a lot of things to work on to be able to beat because the Eagles are gonna be the team for us in our division. They're gonna be the team to beat every year. I think they building something great over there. They got a great leader in Jalen. So we just gotta improve and we're gonna have to go from there. But that was a rough night.
So when you said the Eagles are gonna be the team to beat,
for sure, yeah.
Right? We have a huge Cowboy fan here that runs our show. And as soon as you said it, she perked up.
I perked up.
They perked up like this, man. They felt hold on, he talking about the Eagles. Yeah. It's supposed to be America's team. And when I look at the Eagles, you said the first thing is Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. His ascension to being an MVP caliber player is the sole reason why they're so difficult to beat right now.
Yeah.
They run like 3 plays.
Yeah.
But there's so much you could do off of those plays, and it's controlled by number one. But in your division, it is the New York Giants now, and it is the Dallas Cowboys, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's a testament to your growth and your team's growth because 3 years ago, it was the NFC least.
Yeah.
Right? They weren't expecting those teams. So when you look at you guys being blown out by the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, again, underachieving and losing in San Francisco, now the Eagles being that team, how do you see this division going forward?
I think we're going to be competing to win the division every year from here on out. So it's going to take, obviously those division games are hella tough, especially now. We get, you got the Eagles, you got Dallas, and even, Washington.
Do you really care about Dallas, though? Or is Dallas just all hype and fluff?
Nah, me personally, I don't really care about Dallas. But we don't care about none of the teams in the division. We try and win the division at the end of the day. But we do know that, those teams got talent. We do know they are really good teams. And we do know it's going to take a lot to be able to beat them every year. So,
right.
That's just the mindset that we go into it with. But like I said, we're going to be competing, to win a division every year. I think we're going to have the team to do it. I think we're building something special. And I think we got something we're going to be a hard team to beat every year. I know that for sure. I think we built it with just the players that we got. I think we built it even with the coaches that we have. So I think we got everything is set in place. We just need a couple more pieces, and we're gonna be rolling.
You get involved in different things in New York than other places. You can become a star in New York differently than other places. Like you look at OBJ. Obviously the on the field play was spectacular here in New York earlier. But being able to do all those other things, the Met Gala, all of this, you got short hair on one side, long hair on the other side. I guess it's like your alternate personalities. I'm this guy off the field, this guy on the field. But I'm old, right? They make fun of me because I wear different what he does because he can't dress.
Look at his neck.
Because I wear clothes that are
His neck
different
his
from
neck is covered by cloth right now.
from other people. But I love watching the young cats, y'all guys, come into the stadium, your own flair, your own style, and doing things differently and being comfortable in that. Like, you're really big into fashion. Mm-hmm. How does being in New York even fan that fire more for you and make you want to get into some more of those things?
I think it's because I see so much different stuff in New York. You see so much different fashion. You see a lot of different people. For me, it makes me want to elevate my game because, just seeing a lot of people being able to dress a lot of different ways, and even in ways that you don't even think, like he looks a certain way or she looks a certain way, but they dress totally different. So just seeing that just makes me want to elevate my game. And obviously, I'm big into fashion, and I want to be able to eventually, once I'm done with football, I want to jump into the fashion industry, and I want to be involved, with that. So just being in New York, just seeing all the artwork, seeing all the, different clothing brands, all the people that's trying to, get their clothing brand off the ground and get their artwork off the ground. It's just inspiring to see, just seeing how they work in the city. Obviously, everybody's always on the move. Everybody always work. Everybody trying to, get something done. So just seeing that just inspires me a lot. It ain't no city like New York, I say that for sure.
So are you a natural blonde, or which side did you die?
I'm black. I'm black. I'm black for sure.
What? Because I got the wicks as well.
Yeah.
What motivated that hairstyle? Because you got the doo-doo braids, you got the Kodak blacks, you got the naturals. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the tips. You got the T-Pain tip. But I'm not a fan of the tips.
Yeah.
You got a whole different thing on. Did you cut the one side? Did the bleach shrink it? Like, just explain that to me.
It's crazy. So like, some people they thought I cut it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, nah, like it really didn't, it wasn't supposed to be like that. But obviously with the bleach, it shortened, my hair on my left side.
Oh.
And so it just started to, like at first they was even. And then as time started to go by, this side just started to grow a lot faster. And at first I'm like, I don't really like it. But then I'm like, the accent ain't bad. So then I kept it, and you know what I'm saying, it's my style, and you know what I'm saying, everybody pretty much like it for the most part.
Chan,
So.
when you came in, didn't the dude tell you about all the strip clubs that's here? Because you look like a strip clubber, I guess.
Yeah, dude just walked up to me when we got to the hotel. Hey, man, there's like 9 strip clubs around here. You know, I got you. I was like, damn, man. I'm a religious man.
That's a lot. The atmosphere here, though, you mentioned like that people hustle, people work, all that. You could get caught up in this life. I believe it's a lot of times why dudes don't want to leave this place.
Yeah.
Even if you may have a better opportunity to win, you also can have a chance to make more money. When you start here and you see the other things that you could do, it's like, hey, hold on, like this the spot for me. But how have you been able to evade getting caught up in that, getting caught up in the hype, caught up in the fame, caught up in the partying, caught up in the women, and just keep the main thing the main thing?
You gotta have balance, especially I think here, like you said, it's a lot. It's so much to do in New York. It's so much stuff to get caught up with. But for me, I'm not really even I don't even be doing a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm already I'm laying low a lot of the times. I mean, I go out to the city, but it's not like crazy. It's not like I don't need to. I always am a person when I want to do something, I can do it. But a lot of times I want to chill anyway. So it's easier for me to not really get caught up in the hype because, you know what I'm saying, when I'm chilling, I'm chilling. But I could see how, you know what I'm saying, people can get caught up in that because, like I said, it's a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, to do. It's a lot of places to be, a lot of different people to be around. But you just got to have a balance and you got to kind of know, you know what I'm saying, when to do stuff and when to not. And I think that's really, you know what I'm saying, the ultimate thing.
And with the change, talking about change, the change from college, because you're from Roswell, Georgia, to Alabama, to now New York, that change. And then we kind of hit on them changes with the organization as well. You have Judge, who Ryan's made clear he's not a fan of. Yeah. And then you...
What are they gonna do, fight me?
It don't make no difference to me.
He gonna snatch off y'all damn turtleneck.
I wish you would.
And then Daboll, you kind of hit on it, but what's that difference? What's the flat out, you see it, you walk in that first day, oh, damn.
Just the energy and the passion that Dave's had, and it wasn't how, when Joe Judge came in, it was a lot of we was used to cussing every 5 seconds, you know what I'm saying? And Dave's wasn't like that. We understood that, you know what I'm saying, when he came in, we knew the goal was clear. And he wasn't trying to, you know what I'm saying, be an asshole or do anything that was funny acting. You know what I'm saying, he wanted to win games and you know what I'm saying, he told us that from the jump. Obviously, we was already ready to change the narrative. So at that point, we didn't really care who came in. You know what I'm saying? We had already built that mindset of all right, we're about to change this. We don't care what coaches come in the building. We got to change this shit now. But luckily, you know what I'm saying, we got Dave's and we got all the other coaches. And like I said, they were so transparent with us and they actually listened to, you know what I'm saying, what we wanted to do. So once we knew that they were actually going to listen, you know, once we could actually trust them, everything was smooth sailing and it was a lot easier.
We got 4 teams left. We can obviously make our decisions on who we think are the teams that could win this week when you have Kansas City, Cincinnati on one side, Philadelphia, San Francisco in the NFC, which you were in. Looking at those 4 teams, who would you pick to win this weekend and who ends up being the Super Bowl champion?
I think Kansas City gonna beat the Bengals and man, this Eagles-San Fran game, I don't know. I think the Eagles gonna win, and I think the reason San Francisco, I've always been saying it the whole year. I think that, you know what I'm saying, the Brock, what's his name, Brock?
Brock Purdy.
I think he's going to mess up eventually. You know what I'm saying, he's a rook. But I do know he got a lot of talent around him, a lot of talent. So, but, you know what I'm saying, we've all seen, you know what I'm saying, the quarterbacks mess it up with a lot of talent around them. So I think that, you know what I'm saying, he's going to mess up. And I think the Eagles it's going to be Eagles versus Kansas City. I want to go with the Eagles winning it all.
After playing them, the amount of times you guys have seen them last week, I can see that. I think in the end, you know, here's your chance for your coach. What's your pitch for Brian Daboll to be Coach of the Year?
I think he should be Coach of the Year just because he turned around organizations super fast. Like last year, we hit we was at rock bottom, and for him to come in and be able to change just how we did things, be able to shift the energy in the whole entire building when it goes from the cafeteria, the people that work in the cafeteria, to the trainers, just the whole energy just shift in the building, and him being able to just turn things around in a matter of 1 year, I think was just crazy. And obviously you don't see that a lot. Obviously, sometimes you see it takes a little minute for the new coaches to come in and get adjusted, but he got adjusted to the players, he got adjusted to, everybody in the building, and he was able to lead us, and we was able to string together, wins that a lot of people didn't even think we was going, like you said, a lot of people didn't even think we was going to be in this situation and even get to the playoffs. So just the fact of him being able to lead us and do that for our group, I think that's a big reason why he should be Coach of the Year.
You talked about in the NFC East competing every year. You're going into your 4th year.
Yeah.
Contract talks may start, but we know for sure Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley are up for contracts, and both of those guys had to bet on themselves.
Yeah.
With going into this last year after being first-round picks. How imperative is it for both of those guys to be back here next year?
Super imperative.
Just in your mind, you say it's super imperative. To you, they have to sign Saquon and Daniel Jones.
Yeah, for sure. Because they are a big reason to why we won the games that we won. They're a big reason to why we were in this position that we were in this year. And they're our leaders. They're our captains. So we know that. And, to me, I think they're a huge part of, what we want to do, just building towards the future and being able to win, the Super Bowls and, do all those things. So I think, we those guys definitely need to be back.
One of my favorite safety of all time is Sean Taylor. Then it would be Troy Polamalu, next Ed Reed. Apparently, Ed's one of your favorite safeties, if not your favorite. How does Xavier McKinney put himself on the same track of an Ed Reed?
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. But I would say just getting that ball. I watch Ed Reed all the time, and obviously everybody know he was able to get that ball. He was able to make plays with the ball. So I think as far as that goes of just being, in that caliber of a Hall of Famer, you have to be able to get the ball. You got to be able to make turnover. You got to be able to do something with it also. So I think that's, it's going to be tough, but it's not impossible. Just got to work. And at the end of the day, you gotta make it happen. So, that's what I'm trying to do.
Say we always ask the guests what's been their biggest pivot. So I want to ask you that, but I also want to ask, on top of that, what's the end goal? Biggest pivot first in life.
Yep.
And then the end goal after everything is said, and what are you trying to achieve?
I think, my biggest pivot in life.
So crazy when you ask young people this.
Yeah.
They had a lot of life.
We just started.
I think really was after after this incident I just had. I had to just think about things going forward of how I had to do different things. I started to think about life differently. I started to really understand and sit back and every moment is precious.
Right.
You can't take nothing for granted, can't take the game for granted, can't take life for granted. And I'm thankful that, it wasn't anything worse. I'm thankful that it was just my hand, because it could have been, a lot worse. So I think that's the biggest pivot that, I have had to make, was just changing, how I do certain things and understanding that now I have certain responsibilities where there's some things that I can't do. You know what I'm saying? And some stuff I gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? I gotta, you know what I'm saying, kind of maneuver and do a lot of things different. So I would say that's the biggest pivot. As far as the end goal for me, obviously I want to be a Hall of Famer. I want to be, you know what I'm saying, considered one of the best to ever do it. That's always been my goal. And, you know what I'm saying, that goal I will never, you know, bring that goal down. It's always going to be up there. It's always going to be the same thing. And I understand that, and I just got to work to get to that point.
Yeah, I think, you know, he's a linebacker, he's a running back, I was a safety. The one thing I would say is that there's no safety in being a safety. Mm-hmm. You do everything right, and people don't always notice it.
Yeah.
But the first thing you do wrong,
they notice.
You give up big plays.
Yeah.
You give up touchdowns. And so play everything top down, make the plays you're supposed to, and you'll be exactly where you're supposed to be. Man, we appreciate you taking your time. I know this is a long season. We're happy that you're back healthy.
Yeah. And
good luck in the future. You know, if the Dallas Cowboys come around and you stump them out, such is life, man. Yeah. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, man, let's go to Mexico, man.
I still got a day, a little free day. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, dog.
Hold up, limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On this vision I can trust. Limitless. Take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up.